SBR videos are brought to you by Ladbrokes.
Welcome to SBR Forum Videos. I'm your host, Natalie Rydstrom. Joining us right now is Richard O'Hagan, sports writer and regular contributor to SBR Forum, to discuss this weekend's Six Nation fixtures. Richard, welcome to the show.
Hi Natalie, nice to be with you.
Now, the 2014 RBS Six Nations kicks off this weekend, and the second fixture taking place on Saturday will see last year's bottom side France host the 2013 runners-up England. Now, looking at the outright winners market at Bet365, France, England and Wales are very close as far as odds go. Is this the year that we see France make a comeback?
I think it is, Natalie. I think that France last year were inexplicably bad. They suddenly realised over the autumn that it's probably a good idea if you let the same players play together a bit so they get used to each other, which is something they weren't doing last year. And they started playing good players in their correct positions as well. Like Wesley Fofana, who is a brilliant centre, spent a lot of the last Six Nations hanging out on the wing where he was no use to anyone. So I think France have a real chance of making a comeback this year. Plus, of course, they're such a proud nation and they were really, really badly hurt by not finishing bottom, let alone out in the bottom two last year. This year, they want to be contenders. So, yeah, France, for me, I think, are the better bet for the championship this time around.
OK, so we're going to see a more improved France this year round. Are they your favourites to win this match against England?
Yes, they are. They're a hard team to beat at home anyway, no matter which nation you are. And France at least seem to have got an idea of who their best side is, whereas England don't really seem to have a clue. Even back during the autumn when they had a chance to settle a side in, they were still messing around, still experimenting. I think particularly in the backs, England are going to be well behind the French in terms of experience and talent. So France at home, I think, is going to be a good bet.
Yeah, and do you think weather's going to be a factor here?
Unusually, I think it could be, Natalie, because this is a game that's being played with a 6:30 kickoff local time. It's going to be dark, it's going to be cold, and the Stade de France has no undersoil heating. It's the only major rugby stadium that doesn't have it now. It's because of various structural problems. They've got a huge methane deposit under the ground there. And 2 years ago, we did have a match frozen off before it even started. So if its temperature really drops while this game's going on, the pitch is going to get hard, the ball's going to get difficult to handle. There's going to be a much lower scoring game than you might predict. So certainly if you're in the total points scored or the winning margin markets, then you probably want to start cutting your bets back at that point, because you're not going to see as many points being scored as you will do if it's a warm, decent evening for playing rugby. And I don't see that being very likely on the 1st of February.
That's right. Well, based on that, what markets are you going for then for this match?
Well, obviously, France win. I think a good bet, though, again, first scoring play, England penalty. England like to try and get the points on the board early. One area where they are better than the French is that they've got a much better goal kicker in Owen Farrell. So an England penalty looks like a decent bet. That's coming up at around about 3.3 at the moment. And then you probably do want to look at not so much the winning margin for this game, but total points scored. And I'd be looking for there to be fewer than 30 points in this match, because I think it is going to be close and quite attritional, but I do see the French coming out on top.
OK, very interesting there, Richard. Richard O'Hagan, thank you for joining us today.
You're welcome.